into all phone switching equipment by October 28, 1998. So that the Justice Department can listen in on any phone conversation in America, sitting in their office, pressing some buttons. Let's see what Aaron Russo's saying today. Sons of Then, the FBI asked for additional funding from Congress so they can tap into 1.5 million phones simultaneously. And when you tie that into H.R. 666, a little nasty number there, they won't even need a court order. I think each of those freedom-loving members of Congress deserves a rectal adjustment. Now that's liberty! Almost everybody today is a criminal, according to the law. Let me explain. The federal code is over 1 million pages of fine print. It's been estimated that it would take 23,000 years to read. Okay? Yet, ignorance of the law is no excuse. We are responsible for all these laws. It's just a question of who and what law enforcement decides to focus on as to whether you go to jail, or you go to jail, or you go to jail. How does that make you feel? Well, if you're black, I guess you already know. I can't stand them. I mean, I can't stand them. Do you know there are more people in jail today in America than any other country in the world? And 70% of them are there for victimless crimes. How can you possibly have a crime if there isn't a victim? Idiots. They spent a fortune. They spent a fortune trying to put Heidi Fleiss in jail. And yet, at the same time, they let out a rapist who's victimized over 200 women. When they asked the rapist if he was going to rape again, he replied,
"That is information that will come out in the wash eventually. So right now the cards are still in the air."
Well, thank God they got Heidi Fleiss off the streets. I feel so much safer. In goes Betty Crocker, out goes Jack the Ripper. It's insanity! It's insanity! In Washington, there are entire buildings that just hold books of rules and regulations. Big, big buildings full of bureaucrats whose job is making sure you and everyone else follow this endless stream of rules until we choke to death. put so much pressure on us that we have heart attacks and die. Wait, do you think this is the government's way of subsidizing the medical profession? But Dr. Kessler of the FDA wants to subsidize not only the medical profession, but the drug companies as well, by outlawing vitamins. He wants you to get a prescription just to buy vitamins. Heil Kessler! Oh, did I say that? It must have been a vitamin C deficiency. But nothing to worry about. I have Social Security. Can you believe what they've done to Social Security? I mean, can you believe it? From a voluntary retirement plan, it's evolved into another mandatory tax. Have you ever heard of a retirement plan where the money is not in your name? And the custodian can spend it at his will? And you can't leave it to your heirs? And it's their way of keeping track of you to boot. Try running a private fund like that. And then there's the IRS. It really sucks. I didn't know whether to say sucks or steals. They're both so appropriate. They tax you your whole life. And when you die, they tax you again on the money you leave your family. These people make pigs look anorexic. This is hard work. The San Francisco Chronicle reports by the year 2010, federal income tax and Social Security combined will take 84% of everything you earn. Now, I ask you a question. How can you raise a family if parents are supporting the government instead of their children? Of course morality is declining. Of course crime is soaring. How could it not? Repressed people strike back. And there are a whole lot of repressed people in America today. Do you feel repressed by the government? Yes! Let me see a show of hands. This country is just, it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Have you heard about that? The General Agreement on Tariff and Trade? The so-called Free Trade Agreement?